You guys ready for the main speaker? All right. Are you guys excited about what we have here in Austin? Because this is going to be the best year you've ever seen. And I learned so much from copying other people. And I think that marketing is probably the most important thing that you do. And once again, I'm terrible at it. That's why I have other people that do these things for me and pay at them. And it does very, very well. So spend some time. Get to know our speaker. Are you ready, man?
Yeah.
Are you excited?
Completely. And
you look excited.
I'm ready to melt faces with all of the knowledge of
All right. So good thing we don't have a lot of people in the front row. But,
come on, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, absolutely. What you got? Oh, yeah, cool. Right on. So the first thing I'm going to tell is kind of a story. When I was in 11th grade, I thought I would be really smart, and I took a college level science class. I'm not like super good at science. I'm not like a crazy engineer, which is why I'm probably ever talking about marketing. But the class was called PAG, and I should have known from the simplicity of the name that it was going to be a very difficult class. PAG stood for Physiology, Anatomy, and Genetics. No idea why I took this in 11th grade, right? Like that was not a good call. But what was really cool, and another sign that it should have been really, really hard, was that on the very first day, the teacher said, hey, everybody, welcome to PAG. And she said, everybody repeat after me. She made us write it down, right? So what she said was, what I want you to remember all year long is PAG is fun and easy, and all we do is color. And I was like, this is going to be terrible. Because I knew that if she's going to say that, it's going to be awful. And of course it was, right? Like, sure, we did a lot of coloring, but it was like on obscure body parts and all kinds of crazy crap that I did not need to know ever for any job I was ever going to have. But what I like to talk about with regards to that is that marketing is fun and easy, and all we do is color, right? It's the same thing. Anything that is worth knowing, it's going to have a ton of baggage kind of attached to it. Marketing, you've got analytics. What platform should I be on? Who should I be targeting? How do I target them? Should I be doing ads? What should I be? All of these things kind of stack up, right? And then you just end up not doing it at all. So who in the room already does, just knocks it out of the park with their marketing? Okay, you already lied because you said you were terrible at it. If you don't have someone on payroll, if you don't have someone on payroll, so we have one, right? So you kill it, right? So hopefully, a lot of what I'll talk about today, you can corroborate, right? I hope, right? It should be really good. But we're going to talk about everybody else in the room, right? Why you don't do it. One of the guys that I love in marketing that is one of the best people today with regards to marketing is Gary Vaynerchuk. If you're familiar with marketing, you know who he is. No? Yes? Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay, cool. You should look him up, Gary Vaynerchuk. What he likes to talk about is how important it is to be in the clouds and in the dirt, and how all that kind of crap in the middle just kind of takes care of itself, right? So today what we're going to be doing is kind of the same thing. We're going to be doing kind of a 30,000 foot view down, that macro discussion on marketing, what you could be doing better, what you should be doing, all of that kind of stuff, kind of across any industry, any platform, anything. And then we're going to get kind of granular. We're going to go to the dirt. We're going to talk about different platforms, different things you can be doing on those platforms, areas that you should be focusing in 2016, and places that I see a tremendous amount of growth coming in 2016. So if you're able to do these things that we talk about today, all of that crap in the middle is going to take care of itself. Understanding kind of those overarching concepts that you always want to kind of keep top of mind, and then get really good at the dirt. Really good. Dive, it's that mile wide and an inch deep. You want to get a mile deep and an inch wide. So if all you do is focus on one platform, email, or Facebook, or Snapchat, or whatever, there's no problem with that. You don't have to be everywhere like everyone says. You just have to really understand the dirt and the clouds. Cool? So today we're going to be talking about marketing like it's 2016. See if this works. Does this work? It's on top? No?
Oh wait, I forgot to take the thing out and stick it in the computer.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, the most important part.
Amateur hour. That's on my part too, though. Look, I thought this was it, but this is mine. Yeah, it's terrible. I'm the worst. All right, so right off the top, what's the best marketing advice you've ever gotten? Anybody, shout it out, scream it.
Always do it.
Always do it. Okay, who's always marketing? Okay, the same guy that raised. Okay, wait, one more person. I'm so excited. Audience participation. So a couple of you shouted, always do it. One guy is always doing it, and lovely lady up front. Anything else? Done is better than none. Great. So like I like to say done is better than perfection. Done is better than none. Rhymes. I like that more. That's good. Anything else?
Do enough.
Do
Enough.
enough. What does that mean to you though?
Basically, people ask me, how much marketing do you do to make this amount of money per month? I say enough. And keep doing it.
So that's funny. I invest as well. Like note invest. Sometimes the returns are so big you just can't share it with people because then they won't believe you. So you should be like, what was the ROI? It was enough, right? Like you just don't talk about it. So do it enough. Do it enough to start getting the phone to ring, driving sales, whatever that is, right? Anybody else? Yes, sir.
Know your results.
Know your results, right? So be measuring. Always, if you got to plug into Google Analytics on the back end, whatever the case is. Know your results. Always be doing it. Done is better, right? Fantastic. Love it. So those would be all of those overarching stuff that we're talking about, right? Like none of that is platform specific. And so that's really great that we already kind of have a beat on what some of that kind of cloud-based stuff, that 30,000 foot stuff is going to be. So before we get too far, introduce myself. Hi, I'm Chase Thompson. This was originally, this was originally like a cutout. There was like no grass or anything in the background, and my wife thought it looked stupid. So now you guys get this cool fade effect, which I love. I'm married. I have 2 children, one on the way, which I found out about, what was that, like 2 weekends ago? So that's very exciting, right? Like that's super cool. I'm a full-time real estate investor. I invest in default mortgage notes. I love what I do. I'm also kind of a full-time marketing advisor. I advise multiple, $1 million companies, small businesses, all that kind of stuff. Love what I do. Very excited about it. So if you know me already, that's a little bit about me. Or I'm at Chase Thompson, right? So if you go to Instagram and you search at Chase Thompson, you're going to find me over there on Instagram. You're going to find really great kind of quote stuff. I share a little bit about a podcast that I'm on, photos of my daughters, photos of my wife, kind of where I'm traveling, all that kind of stuff. That's another place, right? People know me. Or at Chase TH. This was a horrible, horrible handle I picked up on Twitter. I should have got the full name. I didn't. I don't know what I was thinking. But if you follow me on Twitter, I like to share articles about marketing. Of course, I show videos, a ton of other stuff there. But that's another place, right? People know me. Or at Node MBA. This is a YouTube channel that I run with my business partner. It's also the name of a podcast that we do about node investing. It's one of the most popular things that I do currently. We have about 5,000 people every month that listen in every single week to listen to us talk about real estate, node investing, lifestyle design, marketing, all of that kind of stuff. A few people in the room listen to the show, and I appreciate you guys for that. But the purpose of all this is to kind of get you guys to understand that like nowadays, everyone is a marketer. Whether you're like frontline cashier or CEO, right, of a company, everyone is marketing all the time. And the reason is because of all of these places, right? Like just because you're not marketing for your business, if I get a shitty experience at like Starbucks, guess what? I'm gonna tweet about it. I'm gonna Facebook about it. I'm gonna Instagram about it, right? So your frontline cashier is a marketer by proxy because I can do it. On top of the fact that if I see your, whatever, billings partner, someone that never deals with the frontline customer, if I see them on my Facebook feed, because I've been friends with them for years and we graduated from school, blah, 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 and they're talking about, oh, it's Monday, 4 more days till Friday, work sucks. They're marketing for your company in a light that you were probably not super pumped about. So what's really important to understand is that you are a marketer now, period, which is really great. And for most people, super terrifying. I love this face. This is kind of the face some people make. I said everyone's a marketer, which I love. But this is the face everyone makes, right? Because marketing is fun and easy, and all we do is color. But you don't know what you're doing. And so you don't know how to market. You don't know when to market. You don't know what platform to market on. All of those kinds of things, right? So this is the face you make. You make this face because marketing is scary, because you might do it wrong, you might embarrass yourself. These platforms have hundreds of thousands of millions of people on them all the time. And you're going to say something wrong. You're going to spell something wrong. You're going to look like an idiot. No one's going to want to do business with you. Your head in the ground. All I do is eat worms. Whatever that thing is, I can't remember. I'm only 30. I don't really remember that phrase. No one likes me, everyone hates me, something. Anyway, so this is the face everyone makes because marketing is scary, right? And I'm not a huge fan of acronyms, but now we're gonna get started with some of that cloud stuff. So marketing is scary for many, many people. Look at this, it's beautiful, red. Not a very good speller, but it's okay. So we're gonna talk about storytelling, content, authenticity, / authority, repetition, and why. So storytelling, right off the top. Storytelling is, in my opinion, the most important thing. Whenever you're marketing, whatever it is you're doing, you're always telling a story. Whether it's me giving my daughter a reason to go to bed, when I tell her to go to bed, I'm storytelling because I'm dad, or whatever the story is, right? We got a big day tomorrow, whatever it is, I'm always storytelling. That's what marketing is. So whenever you're thinking about posting that picture to Instagram, what story is this telling? When you're putting that video on YouTube, what story are you telling? This is really, really, really important. I started by telling a story, right? Again, Gary Vaynerchuk, he actually sat down, he does a really great video blog, a vlog. And he sat down with kind of the upper echelon of, president and admissions and all this kind of stuff for Brown University. And he's sitting across the table with kind of his team, who runs a big social media marketing company. And he's telling them that he has a lot of conversations because he's in the tech space with 15, 16, 17, and 18-year-olds. And the biggest question they ask him is, should I go to college? Or should I go to Silicon Valley, or start my own job, or start my own business, whatever the case is, right? And this is the conversation they're all having. So he's telling this story to like Brown University people. And they're looking in the eyes just like, what the fuck, right? Like they have no idea what to do with these kids who don't want to go to a university anymore. They have no desire to go to school. They want to go be entrepreneurs. They want to launch Facebook. They want to do all that stuff, right? And the one thing that is a redeeming factor for college is the networking. I might get roomed with a really great person. I might meet a co-founder for that business I wanted to start. The one redeeming factor for school is networking. Well, shit, we're networking now. So that's not even that redeeming, right? But he's sitting there telling them this story about where kids are now. And then he flips it and says, if you want to increase admissions, if you want people to start applying to Brown, coming to Brown, doing all that kind of stuff, what you need to do is start marketing through storytelling. Interview people about who their roommate was, about what their network did for them, about what going to Brown meant for them as it rippled across their lives because of this network they were able to build up. So he's saying this is the most important thing to these kids. You're the only university that's going to be talking about what they give a crap about. And that's the story you need to be telling. Not you'll get a great high-paying job, which we've been telling for 100 years. Not everyone needs a degree now, which we've been saying for 100 years. Not any of this other crap that everyone else is talking about. The story you need to be telling is one that they give a crap about. So when you're thinking about that, he's up here talking to investors. If you need money for your real estate, if you got a floral shop, a bakery, I don't care. You have to understand that with your marketing, the story you tell is the most important thing. So maybe no one gives a shit about returns. Maybe the ROI doesn't matter to half of the audience. Maybe it's the spend more time with the kids, retire early. Those types of stories might bring in more capital, or they might not, depending on who you're marketing to. But understanding that story you're telling does matter. Next up is going to be content. This is I love this, right? So what everyone kind of pictures when you talk about content. Pictures of my food on social media. But content is the backbone, right? Content is being created right now, in front of you, live before your very eyes. Also, we're live streaming it, so people are sitting at home viewing this. It's also recording, so that way we'll have a replay. Content's happening a lot right now in front of you, right? But that same picture you posted in the restaurant you went to is also content. The blog post you wrote, the podcast we create, the videos you make, all of that stuff is content. And a lot of people get scared about that because that's very daunting. What kind of content can I create? What do I know? What can I do? Well, number one, start where you are, right? You don't have to go build a video studio, and all this kind of stuff, spend thousands of dollars. The best camera you have and you'll probably ever own is right here, right? This is like 8 megapixel, great, in low light, all that kind of action. Get a selfie stick, call it a day. Great camera here, both for pictures and for video. Some of the biggest platforms, which we'll talk about here in a bit, like Snapchat, the less video production you have, the better it is. Because it really gives that behind the scenes look, right? So if it looks overproduced, it looks kind of hokey. So with things like video, podcasting, images, the words, blogging, all this kind of stuff, and I had a conversation with somebody earlier about this, what you have to understand with content creation is you're going to have fear and you're going to have skills. And it's always going to be like this until you slowly start to etch those away. And then now I'll post crap all the time. Just terrible spelling, horrible grammar. I'll like stutter a little bit in videos. Like, it's ridiculous because my skills are here, but my fear is here. I don't care at all. And the reason why I don't care is that I'm up here giving an awesome presentation and probably 5 people are on their phones in the room. So I don't care. Because what I'm doing now, someone might or might not be looking at. If they are looking at it now, it doesn't really matter because they're going to look at something else in 2 minutes. But if I can resonate with them for one moment, whether it's a word I said, a story I told, whatever that is, that's what's important. So when it comes to creating content, you have to take this fear and skills, you have to slowly etch away at those, right? I mean, if you're creating content, you're marketing all the time. It's a flyer, it's a mailer, it's everything you do. Consider it to be content. A tweet is content. It doesn't have to be this 5,000 word mega blog post that you'll never write, and you'll never pay anyone to write, or anything like that. It's every single thing you do. A Facebook post, a tweet, an ebook, an actual book, video, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's all content. Authenticity. Authenticity and authority are kind of interesting ones. Authority is what you build as you start telling the truth in these spaces, as you start building up a little bit of equity. Authenticity is just not lying, right? It's just being who you are all the time. A lot of people I talk to say they don't want to do video because they don't like the way they look in video. You look that way all the time anyway, and I'm still having a conversation with you, and I'm still coming to you as an expert, so it doesn't really matter, right? This is what I look like all the time, and I'm lucky that my wife picked me, right? It's awesome, and it's great, I know, but with things like authenticity, what you also have to understand is that when you're communicating, say with an investor, or someone who's going to be a client, or a prospect, or whatever the case is, the BS meter people have nowadays is off the charts. It's off the charts. If you sound too salesy, you talk about your returns being better than everyone else's, or any of this other crap, you're just going to turn them off immediately. Just immediately. There's too many other choices. How many people in the room are investors? Right? Everybody, right? So if someone is reading my sales copy or my email or watching my video, they're like, it sounds too good to be true, or he's not really speaking to me, or I don't really feel he's as authentic, they're going to go to your email or your video or your plot or whatever, right? It doesn't matter. The choices are endless. So when it comes to authenticity, you have to be you all the time and understand that that's okay. A lot of people worry about this. It's scary, right? Like, I don't like the way I look, or I don't think I've got really great grammar, or I'm not that great of a speller. That's what technology is for, right? I mean, I spell check all the time, right? Or not, it's horrible. But with authenticity, you really, really have to understand that being you is the best possible thing that you can do. Next up is repetition. Repetition kind of speaks to what you were talking about, right? With always be doing. Repetition is huge. How many people have a MailChimp account or some sort of email marketing account and have only sent out one email message the first time and then never did it again? Or put a video on YouTube and then never put another one out? Or have one Instagram post or one tweet or whatever this crap is? What's that driving? Know your results, right? That's going to drive literally nothing. And then you're like, well, the video doesn't work. I mean, I put one up and I don't have $1 million in the bank yet, so clearly video doesn't work, right? It's impossible. Repetition is incredibly important. So no matter what you're doing, I already told her I was going to be cursing a little bit, so that's why she's not leaving. She's got a toddler. No, I'm just kidding. No, but repetition is going to be really, really important. Whatever it is you decide to do, whatever it is you decide to become a mile deep in understanding, if it's a daily video, daily getting on Facebook and posting about your business, the really important thing to understand here is actually a story, which is great. It's from a comedian who is an amateur. He walks backstage. It's like he had just got done doing an open mic night thing. He got called back. It was really, really cool. He walks backstage, and the last thing he expected to see was Jerry Seinfeld. But of course, he sees Seinfeld because that's what makes this a great story. So he sees Seinfeld, and he's like, holy crap, this is him. And it was during the 90s when Seinfeld was huge. He was making $1 million an episode. And he's at this random hole in the wall doing an open mic night type thing. He's like, oh my gosh, this is my one chance to ask my idol in the business how to do better, how to do more, how to become a better comedian, all this kind of stuff, right? So he walks up, he's like, what can I do? Of course, says hi or gushes or whatever. And then he's like, what can I do to be a better comedian? So then in great fashion, Jerry Seinfeld says, tell better jokes, which is hilarious and great, right? And it doesn't help anyone at all, right? And so then he says, you know, after the kid's like nervously laughing probably, he's like, actually what you need to tell better jokes, you need to be a better writer, which is a little more helpful, right? And he says, but here's the trick. And he kind of gives this kid the key to the kingdom. Anyway, is anybody a big Snapchatter in the room? Dang, it's a really great joke there. Anyway, so he gives him like key to the kingdom. He's like, here you go. This is what you need to do. To be a better writer, though, you need to write every day. So to tell better jokes, you need to be a better writer. To be a better writer, you need to write every day. He said, so for me, what got me my successes, he said, I got a big wall calendar, those old school big wall calendars, right? Starting at day one, I put an X, I wrote a joke. And then the next day, I put another X, and I wrote a joke. And then the next day, I wrote a joke. So he said, very quickly, my job became not writing better, telling better jokes, or anything like that. It became, don't break this chain. Don't break this chain of X's. Because every day I'm writing, and every day I'm coming up with better jokes, and every day I'm telling better jokes, I'm a better comedian, and that's going to build and grow my career, right? It's the same thing with your marketing. So whether it's a video, or Facebook, or an Instagram post, or a tweet, or an email, or a mailer, or whatever, don't break the chain with your marketing. Every single day, write that red X, whatever it's going to be. And I'm actually coaching you right now. This will be one of the big things that we work on, is scheduling this kind of stuff and understanding that that becomes the most important thing. Because it's like that person that started doing a multi-level that you know, and then like you saw like a bunch of stuff about it, then you never saw anything again. It's like you don't really know like if you're still doing it, because you don't want to call them because they're going to call you like another little get together or whatever. But you don't know because they stop. They get so, you know, headstrong and they post out all the time, and then they never post again. So you don't know what's happening with them. It's very, very similar. You want to talk about your great real estate investing business. Talk about how awesome your returns are, and how great it is getting people their private boats or whatever, right? But then if you only post like 5 times a year and it's all kind of front loaded, I don't know what you're doing anymore. I might come into money at the end of the year, but I didn't see anything from you in a couple months. This guy's been posting, he hasn't stopped. Apparently it's working, because why would he talk about it all the time if it wasn't? That guy's gonna win. So make sure you do not break the chain. And next, of course, is your why. I picked a girl, though, not my daughter, because you have to know what your why is, right? What is the reason that you do what you do? It could be anything. Your kids, spouse, you want to educate people, you want to, again, help people retire, you want to get people their private boats, whatever it is that drives you, figure out what it is, and then let that drive you through the next step, which is coming up with a practice and not breaking the chain and all of those kinds of things. Your why is your passion. Your why is the reason you do what you do in every single respect. But when it comes to marketing, it's even more so, right? Because you got the fear, you have the skills. So what's going to keep helping you edge along the way is that why. I'm going to put out this marketing piece and not care what anyone thinks because my daughter needs to go to college. I'm going to put out this next marketing piece and not care if I have any words spelled wrong because my wife likes that we live in a house and not a van. Like whatever it is, like figure out what that is for yourself and use that to drive every single day to make sure that you're continuing to market, continuing to grow your business, because it's the only way it's going to happen. So storytelling, content, authenticity, repetition, which is funny, and why. So now we're going to talk a little bit about stop marketing like it's 2002, or like it's 1972, or 1802, or whatever it is that you're doing. Stop marketing like that. It is 2016. You have to market like it's 2016. And here's some of the tools I use to be able to do that. These might be some of the ones that you use, Joe, or not. We'll find out. I'm very excited. But these are some of the tools that I use to market like it's 2016. First up is Buffer. Who's heard of Buffer? Boyd is the only one that's heard of Buffer. What is Buffer, Boyd?
I use it for LinkedIn.
Cool.
Where I do 3 blogs a week, and then I load it on Buffer, and while I'm asleep or whatever I'm doing, it automatically puts it on that post.
Exactly. So what Buffer is Buffer's a platform where you can get online, open an account, and you can use it to automatically post to basically across the social web. Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Pinterest, all of that kind of stuff. So the way that works is, let's say I write a blog post. I can jump on to Buffer and I can add it to my queue for Facebook. So it posts automatically to Facebook. And I can do the same thing, like you said, for LinkedIn and Twitter and all that other stuff, which sounds great. And it is great. It's very, very good. It's automated. It kind of gets you into that systems mentality, that 4-hour work week, right? But what's really cool is that they also have this great back-end algorithm that runs against your current social graph. It says, hey, by the way, Boyd, the best time for you to post this on LinkedIn isn't just Wednesday. It's Wednesday at 3:31 p.m., which is really cool. So not only is it automated, but it picks the best time for it to post. Now, granted, you can change that if you want, but it goes cross-platform. So if I post the same blog post, image, video, whatever, and I share it on Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn, and Pinterest, or whatever, it's going to pick different times. It's sometimes it'll be completely different days because it runs it against what's worked for you in the past, what's working for you now, and it also runs a smaller bit about what's working for everyone else on the platform. So not only are you automating a bit of your sharing, you're also increasing the likelihood someone's going to see the content you're producing. Buffer's really cool. It's free. The paid version is better. It gives you the analytics so you can measure what you're doing, but it isn't 100% necessary. You can get really far on the free version. It's fantastic. One quick thing to note, the downside of automation, this is something a lot of people don't talk about, is when something happens, right? So something catastrophic is usually the easiest way to reference this, right? So something terrible happens within the country, the city you're in, the state you're in, whatever the case may be, and you're the douchebag who's posting like, hey, check out my newest blog post, because you have all your stuff set to go automation, right? So the big thing that I like to warn people about is use Buffer. It's a great tool, fantastic tool, but don't preload too many things. I like to stop between 5 and 10. And then of course, because I'm always kind of on social web, just like everyone else, if I see something pops, I just immediately go over and I delete all of my posts. Just take them all out of queue. I mean, if you really want to be enterprising, just move them to a week later or whatever, that's fine. But I like to just take them all out. And it's a good reset every time and all that kind of stuff. But it does avoid you being that guy. That guy who's just going to push his agenda no matter what the hell else is going on, and you don't want to be that guy. So really important. Nobody talks about it, but don't be that guy. Next up is Instagram. It's one of my favorite tools to use. Some important things to note with regards to Instagram are going to be things like the ad platform they have. Very few people are using the ad platform. So if you've got a business that isn't just real estate investing or anything like that, if you're slowly building a brand through that or whatever else is that you're doing, their ad platform is extremely cheap. It is extremely effective. The demographic is getting older. You're going to be able to hit millennials like me. So if I'm at all in your target audience or slightly older, right? Like, so who else on Instagram? Just this guy. He's the only one. Okay, great. You're wonderful, right? So you would be someone I would try to say, get to buy a particular type of shoes or food or invest money with me or get stuff for kids or whatever the case is, right? Whatever your demo is, they have a lot of analytics on cross-referencing how to market to that person, but the demo's getting older. My mom's on Instagram. She's not on anything. So I use it. I love it. It's fantastic. The other thing that's really important about it is that Facebook owns it. So anything that you share from Instagram over to Facebook, you end up getting better run, which is really great. You're going to get full cover images, all of that kind of stuff, which is awesome. I would not, for anybody that gives a crap, auto post from Instagram to Twitter. You know, you'll see it like when you go to post a photo and say, do you also want to share to Twitter? Don't do that. It used to be great back when Facebook didn't own Instagram. So this is kind of that dirt stuff. But now that they don't own it anymore, all you get when you post it automatically to Twitter is like a little link, and the person's got to be like in their Twitter feed, and they go, oh, they got to go through all these other steps. Don't do it. I'm going to make lowest barrier of entry possible. Cool? Next up is Facebook, everyone's favorite social network. At any given time, 1 in 7 people are on the platform. So statistically speaking, I don't know, what is that math-wise? There's like 12 of y'all on the platform right now. So I'm seeing a lot of eyeballs, so I'm pretty happy about that. So Facebook's huge, Facebook's great, but who cares about it being huge and great? The important things to notice when it comes to marketing, like 2016 and 2016, is number one, Facebook now gets more video views than YouTube. Cross-platform. Facebook gets more views than YouTube on video. And that matters why? Because YouTube's the big grandfather of them all, right? It's the only thing they do is video. And Facebook is crushing it. It's becoming not even close. On a minute, by second, by hour, by day, by all this other stuff, they're getting better and better and better.
Is that mostly based on the fact that they just do mobile so well?
Yes. So number one, it's based off, so it's two things. And here's the really cool part about it, is that there's a problem with that though. This is usually what gets brought up whenever I talk about it. So if you're someone who hasn't set your settings in Facebook to not autoplay video when you're scrolling through your feed, it'll autoplay. So he's like smirking a little. So I don't know if you thought I was going to address this or not. So what happens is, as you're scrolling through your feed on Facebook, it'll autoplay. And Facebook counts a view as something that has been autoplayed for 3 seconds, which is usually enough time, mobilely, for someone to have scrolled through, briefly paused, and now it counts as a view, right? But that's not everyone. And it's certainly not anyone I know, which is fine and dandy, whatever. But even if you still cut the numbers in half, they're still winning. So even if you were to count half of all of those views as those autoplay views, they're still winning when you take them out. So it's huge to know, number one. Number two is, yes, they do mobile better than anybody else. The other reason is because their new live streaming function, which is the next thing to talk about, is becoming much bigger and bigger and bigger, right? Like when you have these big brands, these big celebrities and all this kind of stuff that can now start doing live streaming from Facebook, it becomes a very interesting play. Now, they could always do that from YouTube. It's what I'm doing right now. I'm live streaming what we're doing right now in my YouTube channel because I'm not a celebrity. I'm not a big brand. They don't give a crap about me, right? But the second they open that up a little bit more to more and more people and more and more people and more and more people, it's just going to continue to crush. And they're going to do that. And that's why you need to start using Facebook. So a few people in the room invest like I do. I'm a note investor. I invest in default mortgages, right? There's a lot of reasons why I do that. You can ask me about it. You can listen to my podcast, whatever. But what's really cool is that I get to invest all across the country. So whenever I travel, if I'm in an area where there happens to be some homes on a tape or something like that, I can drive by them. So with like live streaming on Facebook, and everyone should have live streaming available to them personally, by the way. That's what's so really cool about it. You might not have it on your page yet, but personally, almost across the entire platform, you can now live stream, which is huge. So now when I'm at a property, I'd be like, hey guys, what's up? This is Chase. Right behind me, I've got a home in Des Moines or whatever. I always check and make sure that like it's not owner occupied, so that's always weird. Or I'll do like the drive-by one, you know what I'm saying? But I can actually talk about my business in a way that totally makes sense. You want to talk about boots on the ground? It's amazing. So now, if you want to invest with me, you get to see the houses I'm investing in. You go, oh shit, that looks like a great deal in Illinois. That's amazing. Or you run a cupcake shop, and here's how our line looks. Here's the newest flavor we're coming out with, or whatever. Facebook is huge because they're taking everything else everyone does right, and they're just integrating it into their platform, to answer your question more astutely. And they're doing it better because they can. Because everybody's there, they've got more money, they've got more dollars. So 2 things already off the top. Video is huge on Facebook. You do not want to share a video from YouTube you care about at all, preferably one that you created, on Facebook. What you want to do is you want to directly upload it. When you directly upload a video to Facebook, they give it more run than one that is shared from YouTube. Why? Because it's their platform and they get to do what they want. Taking my ball and I'm going home. You're going to get better views. You're going to get a higher priority when it comes to their edge rank, which is visibility for your content. So with video is huge on Facebook. Upload directly. Live streaming is going to become just catastrophically amazing, and everyone has access to it on their personal pages. And it'll soon be available to people on their regular Joe Schmo people on their, business pages. The next thing you want to look at with Facebook, still talking Facebook, still talking dirt in the ground, is a thing called a dark post. Now, a dark post on Facebook, what this is you will create a piece of content that looks like it'll be posted to your business page or your regular Facebook page, right? But it never shows up there. It actually only shows up to people that you specifically target that you think would benefit from seeing. So if you're looking for investment dollars, people to buy your cupcakes, people to go to your dry cleaning, whatever. Facebook dark posts are amazing. It runs like an ad, but it looks like a post. Dark post. Facebook dark post. What's really great about it is, it looks like a post, but it's an ad. So you can target the crap out of it, which is fantastic. So if you have a certain demographic that always gives you money, that always comes by your shop, whatever, these are the people you want to target with your Facebook dark posts. And the targeting that you're going to use is their newest feature from Facebook called Facebook Audience Optimization. Audience Optimization is a really awesome new tool that they have that helps you get unreal with the granularity of who sees your content. That's regular content and ad content. All of these things I'm talking about, it's kind of as high level as I'm going to go because they're all really deep. Just take everything that you're writing and just go Google it. Tons of information across the internet for it. Don't have to come to me. Internet's great. Use the internet. So video, live streaming, Facebook dark posts, and of course their new Facebook Audience Optimization. Lastly is going to be Periscope. I'm a massive Periscope fan. Periscope was actually bought by Twitter, which is what we're going to talk about a little bit. Periscope is an app that lets you basically become your own live TV station. So you launch Periscope, and it's you on the screen. People can jump in, they can chat, they can like your content, all of that kind of stuff. But it's all done live, right? Which is really cool. It records it. It allows you to replay it 24 hours later.
I want to add something to what
Go for it.
for Periscope. So here in Austin, I've actually only seen one other real estate investor actually use Periscope. Probably seen him around. He's the Mark Canton. He hosts the cash flow party, right? I just wanted to throw it out there. I mean, Lamar's doing it, and I was watching one of his Periscopes, and he asked everybody to like his Periscope, and you could really see all these people like send their likes.
Yeah, so like when you double tap on the screen Periscope, it's like these hearts kind of shoot across the screen. And so if someone's like really like loving the content you put out there, it's like this crazy stream of hearts. It's amazing. It's very gratifying
really
for yourself.
And I think it's a great way to share media as well. I wanted to share that with you guys.
Yeah, Periscope's huge. It's amazing. It's growing. It's an amazing platform. But it's based off this concept of live. So the few things I want to talk about here is number one, it comes back to this idea of live streaming and all of the benefits that come from live streaming. If you're a builder, you're out at a property, give daily updates, or if you've, again, investors, whatever it is, today we're meeting with XYZ. Today we're at the Quest IRA $1 trillion event. We're going to be talking about marketing. We're going to be talking about whatever. But what's really, really cool about Periscope is that they were purchased by Twitter. So now, very similarly to how you don't want to share from YouTube onto Facebook, with Periscope, you have to tie it to a Twitter account. And when you do, it actually plays live in the Twitter stream. So if someone is following you on Twitter, when they go through the stream, they'll actually see you live right then and there, whatever it is you're recording. So it's just another place where someone can catch your content happening live on the spot and all that kind of stuff. So live streaming, again, still super huge. Bought by Twitter, so now they play live in the Twitter stream. And the last thing, which is something very few people use, that use Periscope, there's a great website called catch.me. It is KATATCH.me. What catch.me does is it captures, because Periscope only keeps your content for 24 hours. It captures your feed, and then you can go back and you can download it, or you can replay it, or you can share it, or you can do all these other things with it. So you get this really great benefits of having this live on, kind of thing, and then you get to combine it with this great on-demand piece. I have no idea why Periscope doesn't do this themselves. Whatever, I don't care. Catch.me is fantastic. Definitely use that if you're going to be using Periscope. So what's on the horizon? And these are things that you should be kind of watching for in 2016 specifically. These are some things and areas that I think are going to absolutely explode. But video, crazy, right? I've been talking about this whole time. Video is huge. Video is massive. If you really want to grow your business, get over it. Figure out a way to implement video into your business. Period, end of story. Every single platform, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest actually does video. Google, I don't care what you're talking about, YouTube, your own website, all of it plays video. The Apple TV now can work with YouTube, and it can auto send to you. I mean, it's ridiculous. Figure out a way to implement video into your business. You have to. If you want to beat me, and if you want to beat Joe, and if you want to beat a couple of millennials over here that are like taking a shit ton of notes, figure it out. Because honestly, I am obviously here educating you. Love you guys dearly. Big ups. But I also don't care, right? It's not a zero-sum game, and I know I can't get all the money. But for my investments and the things that I'm working on, I'm going to try to get as much of it as I can. So I'm doing a podcast. I'm doing video. I'm doing photos. I'm blogging on LinkedIn Pulse. I'm doing all this other stuff. Video is going to be huge. Figure out the platform that works for you with regards to it. They all do video, and they all do it differently. We can talk about the ways that they get done differently. After this event, you can ask questions now. I don't care. But figure it out. Snapchat. I want to ask if anybody was on. Nobody said yes. This is going to, yeah, oh, great. There you go. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Snapchat is going to be absolutely ridiculous. Ridiculous. In 6 months, at the most 12 months. If you do not have an account now, you will, presumably, if you care about marketing in 2016, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Snapchat is huge. So what Snapchat is, Snapchat, okay, well, I won't say that. So what it is it's really bad. So what it started out as was a platform where you could jump in, and you knew what I was going to say, didn't you? That's awesome, right? I just can't say that out loud. Because my wife might be watching, she'll be super mad that I said that out loud. So anyway, what Snapchat is Snapchat is a platform where you can take a picture or a video. The video can only last, I believe it's 10 seconds. Yeah, give or take, right? Yeah, because the photos are also, what's the word, self-destruct. You can select the amount of time a photo stays live for everyone to see. So if you think about it like Facebook, if I wrote a Facebook update, and then I chose, I want it to last from 1 to 10 seconds. And if you weren't on Facebook, you would have missed it. So already, when the platform came out, everyone was like, why would this exist? Why would I create content for a platform that deletes it 10 seconds later? It doesn't make any sense at all, right? Well, number one, they launched this thing called Snapchat Stories. So now you can have content that stays up to 24 hours. So now you're kind of starting to get it, you're starting to kind of understand. But the big reason why it's so fantastic is that it has the most attention of everyone like 20 and under. And why does that matter? Because Facebook also had the most attention of everyone 20 and under. Twitter had the most attention of everyone. Instagram, Pinterest, all of these ones went this same way. This is literally the platform that has the most attention of everyone 20 and under. I love it, right? Like sending my wife a little, hey, and then like 10 seconds, she sends me shout out the babies. It's super great. But from a marketing perspective, it kind of goes the same way. But if you had a hashtag Austin real estate every whatever, Tuesday, every morning, every whatever, but you post this content on Snapchat and the attention graph is stupid. And the reason in the beginning that it was stupid is because you had to hold your hand on the device for it to play. So if I wanted to watch you do whatever video you were doing, I had to interact, I had to engage. They don't make you do that anymore. But it's so ingrained in the culture of the people that are on this platform that from an attention perspective, all you give a shit about when it comes to marketing is where's the eyes, where's the ears. Snapchat is where the eyes and the ears of everyone who will be buying from you tomorrow are. Now is the opportunity to do the land grab people did on Instagram before you knew it existed, and Twitter before it existed, and Facebook. Before you knew these platforms existed, there were people that had people in front of them in rooms like this that said, hey, go get a username, start producing content, do something here, because people that buy tomorrow are there today. And 2 of you are going to do it, and I'm really excited for both of you. But it's going to be huge. Lastly, blog. Blogging is easy, right? Blogging's been around for a really long time. But when I talk about blogging now, what I mean is what Peter and I are working on for his own personal website. Working on doing blogs and things like that there. But where I'm going to take him to is also blogging on LinkedIn Pulse, which is an amazing business network on LinkedIn everyone has access to. You're making great faces because you don't know what I'm talking about. Go to LinkedIn, pull up LinkedIn Pulse. You're going to get a lot of really great content. Most of it around business, none of it is yours because you're not writing there yet. That's blogging just like it is blogging on your own site. So you write on LinkedIn Pulse. Right now, I have 3,400 or so people that follow me on LinkedIn Pulse. So when I post something on LinkedIn, they get a notification. Jason's posted a really great article. You should probably go read it. All of you should follow me on LinkedIn. I post really great articles. You should probably go read them. But they get a notification. If you post a blog post on your website right now, who cares that is not married to you? No. But LinkedIn, the biggest professional social media network, period. Who gets a notification? Anybody that's connected to you. Anybody that's connected to you now knows when you post content. The past job you were at, people you used to go to school with, people that you care about working with now get a notification in not just their email box, but also every time they log into the platform. It's huge, huge opportunity. It's basically email marketing done for you. They get a notification in 2 different places. That's blogging. Another really great site for blogging is Medium, medium.com. Just like the shirts I used to wear. Medium.com is a good one. Medium.com is really, really cool because what they're trying to do is they're trying to bring and drag internet content and blogging content and all this kind of stuff. They're trying to drag it to 2016. And the way they're doing that is human curated notification, as it were. So if I, Chase Thompson, small business owner from San Antonio, Texas, write on medium.com an amazing post, face-melting post, they, the human, curators, might find it. And when they find it, they actually send it out via email. And every day I get a great email from Medium with 5 to 6 awesome articles, most of which from people I never would have even known existed, most of which aren't even located here in the States. So they're also email marketing for you when you're out there creating really great content. What's really, really cool is if you comment on an article on Medium, it counts as a Medium post. So if someone else lights the world on fire with an amazing expose on who gives a crap, and then you give an insightful comment, you also get highlighted. Or potentially, if you give a crap, you tell a good story, you provide good content, and you're authentic and all that other stuff. So you get other people marketing for you that actually are trying to do it because they're trying to grow their businesses, right? They're trying to do their thing. Another really great place to blog, and this one I don't really want to tell a lot of people because this is like really not something I've ever shared, but I also love Quora. If you're not familiar with Quora.com, it's a question and answer site. You can find amazing, amazing answers to questions you didn't even know you needed to have the answer to. But what's really cool is you, as your random person, in and of yourself, can answer questions as well. It's not like you have to raise your hand and be like, I'm, CEO of XYZ, and I know all about IRAs. I could jump in right now and give an answer to IRAs that's completely just false. It's total bull crap. Like I could just be not at all accurate.
You better not.
But if it looks good enough and people think it's legit, they'll upload it, they'll give me some emails, hey, what's all this about? So one of my favorite places to go is Quora and answer questions. Because then I'm now personally connected to that. He asked a question about real estate event. So the answer that's driven the most business back to me is someone asked, is owning a rental worth it? Which is, first of all, a terrible question. There's just so many different ways you can go with that. But the answer I gave was, most people that own rentals would say yes. Some people would say no because they don't want to deal with the 3 T's, and toilets, trash, and tenants or whatever, right? And I said, but I don't have to deal with that because I'm a note investor. I buy the mortgage behind the house. So when I have a rental, it's actually a mortgage, either seller financed or loan modded or literally a newly originated mortgage. And guess what? When my water heater breaks, I'm not going to call Wells Fargo. I can't call Chase, technically, but only a few people got it because they totally forgot my name by now. But I can't call them, right? It's my water heater. It's my mortgage. So I don't have to deal with tenants. I don't have to deal with trash. And I don't have to deal with any of the bull crap when it comes to rentals. I get a lot of business from that answer. Please don't go too late. But most of you are not investors, so you don't have to worry about it. But Core is a really great place. What you need to be on the lookout for are places like this that are emerging on the web. Great content for places like this that will do the marketing for you. So I asked this earlier, what's the best marketing advice you've been given? So what is now the best marketing advice you've ever got? Everything Chase just said. Marketing is fun and easy, and all we do is color. There's a lot of opportunity out there. I don't do anything on Pinterest. Not to say like I'm the only person you should give a shit about, but like I don't do anything there because I just don't. It's not the playground I like to play in. But sure shit, you know what's happening? At 10:30 at night, I'm gonna drive home. I live in San Antonio. You know what's gonna happen? It's gonna be 10:30. We're gonna be in bed, and my wife's gonna be like this, right? Because we're all like this. And you know what she's gonna be on the platform? She's gonna be on Pinterest.
Spurs game.
Do what?
Oh.
Yeah, Spurs game. I'm trying, dude. I'm like running. Spurs game's so huge tonight. But my wife's gonna be on Pinterest. She also doesn't care about the Spurs. So she'll definitely be on Pinterest. But she's gonna be on Pinterest. So if a almost 30-year-old, hope she's not upset about that, who has disposable income, kids, is invested in all this other stuff, is in your demographic or someone that you could communicate with and be authentic with and share stories with and potentially get business from, if that's a person, by the way, that demo goes all the way to like 65, 75 female. It's huge female demographic. That's someone that you can communicate with and have a connection with. That also, by the way, when I'm like, so quick aside. I bought this bag again because mine broke, right? So what did I do? I didn't go to REI and buy this bag, right? I went to REI, I looked at some bags, and then I called my wife, right? Because that's what a lot of us do. So if you want or care or give a shit at all about the person that is sometimes, most of the time, 80% making the decisions on some things, you might want to be on Pinterest. Or Facebook, because you think you can crush it there. Or like, this is the first time you ever heard of a Snapchat, and you're really geared up, and you're that other person that's also going to get on it here tonight. Congratulations to the two of you. Just figure it out. There's a ton of opportunity. It's not a zero-sum game. You're going to get money and communicate with people I can't communicate with. You're going to sell cupcakes. You're going to get the dry cleaning. You're going to do whatever it is that you do better than I can for just a ton of people. You just got to get in the game. Cool. So thank you guys. If you have any questions, definitely we got some smattering of applause. This is where you can connect with me on multiple platforms. Or you can check out our well-produced and amazing, podcast, Note MBA. It's always really good. What's your questions?
Two questions.
Yeah.
First, CAPTCHA, can you spell that again? Because
Catch.me. KATCH. Yeah. .me.
And we're about 4.
QUORA. Yeah.
Go there and start going to it. It says by entering here, you're going to let Quora manage your contacts.
Wait, your contacts?
Contacts.
Interesting. I would just go to the web. I would set up an account there.
Well,
you wouldn't have any content, like it wouldn't have access to contents if you were like on, say, Firefox.
I gave you the option of creating accounts.
Yeah.
Signing through Google Plus or signing through Facebook.
Yeah.
Signing through Google Plus.
Oh, so yeah. I usually choose, just as an FYI, email. If there's ever an option, I always choose email.
Well, it's
Yeah.
two things. It says it wants
Was
to
it
see
in
your
small
email
font?
account, it wants to see your publicly visible things, and it wants to manage your contacts.
Well, that's because you signed in using
Google
Google Plus.
Yeah.
If you set up a native account within.
That's what I was saying. I would just go online to set one. I wouldn't set one up now because it won't ask you those questions. It doesn't have access to really any of mine. What technically it has access to my Facebook now because I'm getting a lot of great traction and I want to have that stuff populate over. But that's now 3 years in the making or whatever. So if you go to the .com on a desktop or laptop or whatever, you're not going to probably experience that problem. And you're going to be able to select an email as opposed to anything else. Yeah. Other questions? What do you got? You can be also as specific as you want. It does not have to have anything to do with what you do. Email marketing. I don't give a crap. What do you got?
Why has no one figured out Reddit yet?
Why has no one figured out what?
Reddit, like how to affect.
So people.
I
Yeah.
use it like.
So people have figured out Reddit. I was advising for a baseball brand,
Okay.
and we got a really big win because I am a Redditor. I'm not going to give you my username. No I'm kidding. But I got a win because I was in their baseball and like Little League and all these kind of different subdirections or whatever, right? And then somebody jumped in and they had a question about beer league kind of softball baseball. Just got a brand new bat. Guy steps up, borrows my bat, breaks it. It's the first game out. And he was like, do I ask him to like read, what should I do, right? So he's asking the Reddit community. Reddit, by the way, is the front page of the internet. If you, I would not recommend anyone that does not know what Reddit is to go to Reddit. You will lose all of your time in life. It's really hard to get. If you think it's hard to get off Facebook, just forget it. And you laugh because you know it's right. But anyway, so they were saying, and everyone had a bunch of answers. So I jumped on as a brand authority, as I was helping this company grow. And I said, hey, look, here's what I would do. But even better than that, why don't you just private message me your contact information, and we'll send you one of our premium maple bats. And it was ridiculous. Orders went through the roof. That's how you win, through storytelling. Here's what I would do, right? That's kind of the biggest thing. The content was I wrote the post. I actually did something. The authenticity was I came from a place of here's the answer, but I also happen to have a baseball brand and we have bats. Right? Like that was really, really cool. Reputation, I was in the community all the time, posting about just baseball news, things happening in fantasy baseball, all of that kind of stuff. And my why mattered. I didn't come back in and, try to, hey, everybody, you want a $20 gift card, any of that kind of crap. I was legit. They could check my history, which right? They could see I had been, communicating within the community for months and months and months and months without ever talking about owning a business brand or, baseball brand. That's how you win. The reason why Reddit is so hard to hack and it's so different than a lot of other places, number one, a lot of people there are a little bit higher educated from a technological perspective. So their BS meters are just off the freaking charts, number one. Number two, anonymity. I can be a total bag of things and no one knows it's me. I can go in and say what I want, do what I want, be what I want, and no one knows it's me. So that anonymity brings really great things in a marketplace and it can bring really bad things. So someone can get on there and be just really shitty and no one knows who you are, and so it doesn't matter. But that's the reason. I find if you're in specific subs, like the real estate investing sub and other places like that, and you're providing just months and months and months of really great feedback, and then you do kind of all of those things I just laid out, or you private message someone, the intimate private interactions are always really great. If you're not a big brand, if you're not a celebrity, you're just not going to win with a collective post and /pics or something like that. You know what I mean?
Like an AMA.
Yeah. That's not going to work. No one's going to care, right? Or you're just going to come off as spammy and So go into the subdirectories, provide the value that I've already talked about, the content and all that other stuff. Don't share all your shit or whatever. And then when the time comes and someone has a legit question, you can answer it live and send them a private message. You will win that way. I've done it time and again. Anything else? We good?
Are we good?
And at this moment, we're actually going to open up the floor for a deal
First
with
of all,
Jay.
wait.
Oh.
This is good.
Oh, wait, yeah, I do want a round of applause because Jay's fantastic.
By the way, my goal, by the way, you don't know this, but I would love to see everyone else's recordings, which they're not going to do. So I'm really excited, and I think I might win because I hedged my bets a little bit. My goal was to be the best one you guys had all year, by far.
Well, you are setting a good stage.
Am I? Because that was my goal.
Wait. I'm a speaker at one of those, so you can be the second best.
No, dude, I'm so competitive. I feel like it just. No, I'm kidding. No, but I've been to a couple of these, and I've seen a lot of people. So my goal was just to obviously kind of bring as much as I could. So I really hope.
Carson's sitting out there. I'm just saying.
Dude, he is.
He's coming back.
I'm just saying, he's come up, man.
No. So, but for real, I just wanted to kind of give you guys the best that I could. If you guys have any individual questions or anything like that after the fact, definitely just send me an email. I don't have anything to sell, unless you care about buying notes or whatever. It just doesn't really matter to me that much. But I geek out on this, and on my drive up from San Antonio, I was listening to marketing podcasts. I was here at 4 and I was watching videos. I'm this is what I do all of the time. So whatever you guys have, that's what I do. I was legit here for. I called her. I was like, hey, by the way, their PA system, yeah. And she's like, oh no, they have another one. I'm like, yeah, it's going to the Geeks doing some trivia crap. And I was like, I think I could take them. She told me not to. So I'm just letting you guys know that's why we don't have a PA system.
For real, guys.
Give you another round of applause.
I can tell you that I I've used